Hey everyone, if you're working in IT support or production engineering, you already know the deal. Resolving tickets at lightning speed is the entire name of the game. So in today's explainer, we're diving right into how you can take your standard dark mode VS Code setup and transform it into the ultimate centralized debugging machine. Let's get right into it. Now, let me ask you a completely serious question. Why on earth are you opening 5 different apps just to solve one single ticket? Seriously, we have all been there. It is that chaotic, frantic Alt-Tab nightmare. You get a critical issue, and suddenly you're juggling Postman, some heavy database client, a standalone log viewer, and like 3 different terminal windows. It's totally exhausting, and man, it absolutely tanks your incident response time. Think about it. That old workflow is just a cluttered, manual sprawl that completely drains your cognitive load. But when you outfit VS Code with the right extensions, it literally transforms into this sleek, unified split view environment. Everything you need happens instantly, right in one place. You never have to break your concentration again.
Section 1. Toolkit 1. Log and API Analysis.
Okay, so here is our first lineup. These 4 extensions are the absolute core of your daily support tasks, and they are going to completely replace your external log viewers and those clunky, resource-heavy API clients you've been stuck relying on.
First up, we've got Log Analyzer. Now, what's really amazing about this one is how it handles massive production-grade log files without instantly crashing your editor. It uses this really smart truncation for files over 10 megabytes, and it instantly brings warnings and errors right to the surface with bright visual highlighting. So yeah, no more squinting at a giant, endless wall of white text.
Next on the list is REST Client. Instead of switching out to an external app every time, you can just execute mock API calls right there, sitting next to your codebase. You simply write your request in a .htp file, seamlessly swap out your environment variables, and boom, you view the response right in a split pane. It is a massive time saver. And hey, have you ever gotten one of those massive, deeply nested, completely unformatted JSON payloads attached to a customer ticket? It's literally a nightmare to parse, right? Well, JSON Visualizer takes that giant wall of raw text and turns it into a highly readable interactive node graph. It even expands escape JSON strings right in place. That means you can instantly spot missing keys or malformed data without endlessly scrolling through a million brackets. Rounding out our first toolkit is the regex previewer. Look, if you're writing a custom filter to extract, say, user IDs from a super messy log file, this extension gives you a live side-by-side preview showing exactly what you're capturing in real time. It completely eliminates that awful, frustrating trial and error loop we all hate when dealing with regex. Moving on to Section 2, Toolkit 2, Remote, DB, and Config. Take a quick look at these next 4 extensions. Basically, what these do is bring your external infrastructure directly into your cozy dark mode editor. We are talking seamless handling of SSH, databases, and those super critical environment files. The remote SSH extension is just fascinating. It connects directly to a remote machine and actually runs a VS Code server right there on the host OS. This means you no longer have to waste time downloading gigabytes of server logs or relying on clumsy terminal editors like Vim just to read a config file. You just edit everything as if it were sitting right on your local hard drive. Then there's SQL tools. Picture this. You just saw a bad API response, and you urgently need to verify a user's data. Instead of booting up a totally separate, heavy database client, SQL Tools lets you connect straight to MySQL or Postgres. You literally just run your queries in a clean, split view right beside your code, verifying those database schemas instantly. It's a total game changer. For your configuration needs, YAML Validator and .env support are absolute lifesavers. Setting up schema validation instantly flags YAML formatting errors, which literally stops production deployment crashes before they even happen. And when you combine that with native .env support to safely manage and organize your authentication tokens, your config workflow becomes completely bulletproof. All right, Section 3, Toolkit 3, Context and AI. Now we arrive at tools 9 and 10, ChatGPT Helper and GitLens. Think of these as your ultimate fail-safe backups. You know those times when standard logs and queries just aren't giving you the full picture? Well, these tools step in right then to give you the crucial historical context and intelligent assistance you need when you get truly stuck. Let's talk about GitLens. It completely supercharges your version control. The absolute best part here is the unobtrusive inline blame annotations. It directly answers that infamous question, who wrote this line and why, directly in your code. That is absolutely essential for quickly tracking down the exact commit that introduced a bug, saving you from digging through endless terminal logs. And of course, when you hit a total wall, having an AI assistant integration like ChatGPT Helper is incredible. By just highlighting a cryptic log entry or a super confusing stack trace, you can simply right-click and choose Ask AI about selection. It feeds you a plain English explanation and very often the exact fix. That alone can shave hours off your incident investigation time. Okay, so what does this actually look like in a real crisis? Let's bring it all together. Imagine a critical 500 error ticket has just landed on your desk. The clock is absolutely ticking. How do we use this new centralized setup to solve it? Section 4, the boss fight, resolving a 500 error ticket. So here's the scenario. We have a local mock Node.js server that is throwing a 500 internal server error, and it's time to put our debugging machine to the test. Here's our methodical 3-step battle plan to solve this ticket entirely inside VS Code. First, we track the bad commit. Second, we reproduce the error locally. And third, we analyze the failure. Step 1. GitLens investigation. We start by opening up the server's routing file. Thanks to GitLens, the very second we hover over the broken endpoint, an inline blame annotation pops up, revealing that a colleague actually added a new environment variable requirement just yesterday. Bam, that is our first major clue. Moving on to step 2, REST client reproduction. Now we need to verify this behavior. So we open a local .http file and we fire off our mock REST API call, right there in the split view. Instantly, we capture the exact 500 error response from our Node server. And notice, we did all of that without ever touching our mouse to switch over to an external browser or a separate API app. Finally, step 3, log analyzer and AI. We pop open the mock Node.js log file. Immediately, our log analyzer extension highlights the exact failure trace in bright, glaring red. We highlight that error, right-click to send it to our AI assistant for context analysis, and boom, it confirms our suspicions perfectly. The code is failing simply because that new environment variable is missing from our local .in file. We add it in, and just like that, the error is completely resolved. See that? We just successfully resolved a critical 500 error ticket without ever leaving the editor. By centralizing your workflow with these 10 extensions, it is honestly amazing how much speed and context you can gain. So the only real question left for you is, which clunky, outdated external tool are you going to uninstall first today? Get in there, start debugging at light speed, and I will catch you in the next explainer.